Thank you, Andrea. We have quite a team here who's gonna help me today. So we have Andrea, Monica, and Georgiana. So if you hear me calling out their names, it's because they have something to do, either a quiz to start, or if we are recording, or taking your questions from the chat. Hi, Diana, welcome. So first of all, I'm very happy to see you all here for this first webinar. The first thing I want to share with you is Google Earth. Not sure if you saw the link, or if you, hi Paul, if you already registered on our project map. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So we created this map where you can all create your own profiles, and where you will see the participants from other countries. As this is a cross-border project carried out in Romania, Spain, and Italy, we're going to have this map active throughout the project, so for 2 years. And participants can create their own profiles here, and you can write there also your contacts. You can see what other participants do, and perhaps connect to other participants in Romania. As you can see, we already have from Bucharest, from Cluj, from Sibiu. We have people enrolled, most of them from Bucharest, indeed. Yeah, okay, this is from Tulcea. What is this? No, Mamaia. It's Constanța area, okay. So if you didn't already register here, you need, I think, a Google account. But if you didn't already register, you can do so in the following months. And you can also see, for example, here our partners in Italy. Here our partners in Spain, and other participants from the other countries. This is a fun tool that will help you connect to people in the other countries. Okay. Okay. What? I love traveling, and Google Earth gave me the sensation of embarking on a journey. Yes, indeed. This is gonna be quite a journey. And today is our first stop. So welcome to the circle. What is the circle? The circle is a cross-country, cross-disciplinary program for European freelancers and entrepreneurs. Basically, this funding line from Erasmus started from the COVID pandemic, as the European Commission wants to support freelancers and entrepreneurs on all levels, so creatives and non-creatives, become more resilient and to thrive in their entrepreneurial ventures. The program is supposed to give you connections and international insights from the 3 EU markets involved, Italy, Spain, and Romania, an opportunity to mainstream business creativity practices and to develop your digital skills. Okay. Georgiana is telling you guys to ask questions in the chat. So if you have comments and questions, please write them in the chat and we'll pick them up. I don't know. Can everybody hear us well? It seems to have. Okay, so the team can hear us well. Guys, if you have issues hearing me, okay, thank you for your feedback. Please follow up in the chat so we can make sure we don't have technological issues. Okay, so far the feedback is good. So Anka, perhaps you can take some headsets or something. Great, thank you guys for your feedback. So the Circle program is implemented in the 3 countries by 4 partners. In Romania, we are Impact Hub Bucharest and Zitec. In Spain, we have our Impact Hub Madrid. And in Italy, we have Matera Hub. all the details about the program and the partners you can find on the website, which is jointhecircle.eu. So what are your benefits? Why should you actually join the program entirely? So not only this webinar. In general, for all businesses, you can get insights from 3 countries. You can develop new entrepreneurial and digital skills. You're gonna discover how to unlock your innate creativity and how to collaborate more smoothly with the creatives you recruit to help you reach your goals. For creative businesses, it's about building structure into your creativity. It's about the use of entrepreneurial, creative, and digital skills to clarify strategy. It's about diversifying your financial pillars and amplifying and measuring your impact. The results from this project are going to be 6 kits, 2 creative kits, 2 entrepreneurial kits, and 2 digital kits, which are going to be under the form of e-courses and are going to be uploaded online. So we are very happy about this, and they're going to be in all languages of the project. So you're going to be able to access them in Romanian, English, Spanish, and Italian. Because right now, I think we have with us already participants from all 3 countries, or we are supposed to have. So the creative kits are about bringing structure into creativity and creativity into structure. The entrepreneurial kits are a set of guides and tools and templates to build financial and social sustainability. And the digital kits are about checklists, tools, and how to digitalize your flow. Especially now with the COVID pandemic still going on, digital skills are really something necessary. And this is the first webinar from the program. The structure of the program is a set of webinars, a set of face-to-face meetings, and another set of webinars at the end of the program. This is the first webinar, and it's about entrepreneurial well-being. I'm actually curious if you have any input on what is well-being and how do we define it. So today we're gonna talk about what is entrepreneurial well-being and how is it complex. We're gonna understand more the advantages you gain by mastering well-being. We're gonna get a preview of the learning and sharing experience. This you will take part during the program. You're gonna meet creatives and entrepreneurs. And we're also gonna have a special guest invited with us today to share her experience. And although it's not written on a slide, I'm gonna share with you that it's about Ioana Dodan. So perhaps you've heard of her. She's gonna be with us later. We're gonna have also quizzes, a short break at the mid of the webinar. So you can also take water and a few steps, because talking about well-being, sitting on the chair for 3 hours, it's not good. So we're gonna have a break so you can take a few steps away from the screen. So what is well-being? As defined by Oxford, well-being is the state of feeling comfortable, healthy, and happy. But well-being is more than just being happy. It is often connected to the idea of feeling good physically by engaging in relaxing activities and taking care of our body. More exactly, well-being can be measured by the quality of our physical health. It can also be measured by monitoring our sleep, our nutrition, and physical state. How many of you have the smart bracelets and watches which measure heartbeats and sleep, and how many hours of sleep did you get, and so on, and how many steps? I'm sure this is something we all have on our phones. Moreover, well-being is very complex and encompasses more than just the physical element. Mental well-being is equally important and is measured through mental health indicators. Measuring mental health can be difficult and is often connected to our emotional state, our social behavior, our vitality, and our desire of self-realization. Nowadays, we are becoming more aware of the importance of these psychological and social indicators and the importance of well-being as a whole. Because I do like to say that we are a whole, so we are not only a professional, a mom, a brother, or a son. We are an entire person, and each time we meet somebody, with every interaction we have in business or personal life, we present ourselves entirely. We don't present ourselves only as, I don't know, business Lucia or the mom Lucia or so on. So we are a whole. So why are we that interested in well-being? Well, in psychology, the term has mainly been on finding out what troubles people instead of what improves their well-being. In 1990s, Americans started the movement of positive psychology, which recognized well-being as an integral part of living a fulfilling and flourishing life, and is intimately related to people's capacity to engage in personal activities, work, and maintain positive relationships. Well-being has become an important factor in society and is now measured regularly at national levels because it was declared as having an impact on socioeconomic progress, and it is a fundamental goal at the society level. I'm laughing right now because I can't read that word, I can't pronounce it, sorry. So, well-being is recognized to complement the economic measures of the country. This is the Social Progress Index in 2020. And as you can see, Romania ranks on the 45 positions out of 163 countries measured, while Italy is on the 23rd and Spain is on the 19th place. I'm mentioning only these three countries because these are the countries in our program, but of course you can have them all there, and after our webinar, we're going to follow up with the links for the entire study if you wish to take a closer look. These are all the indicators measured for each country, which bring us to those levels. So, well-being is important to everyone, but why do we talk about entrepreneurial well-being? Is because entrepreneurs actually have an impact on society. They leave a mark. They are leaders of positive change, and they do have the power to increase social well-being. For entrepreneurs, well-being is critical to their ability to lead their ambition forward. And we're going to explore more about this. Being an entrepreneur is strongly connected with self-actualization, following your purpose, doing something you are passionate about, feeling a deeply innate connection with the product or services you create. Entrepreneurs' work can be a great source of personal fulfillment, creativity, and meaning. Work can be fun, original, and expressive. The freedom and control experience at work can give you space to feel innate talent, to fulfill innate talents, and skills to engage in purposeful activities. So entrepreneurial well-being is important because to lead a company and to react to change, you must have well-being. It recharges entrepreneurs' psychological resources like optimism, resilience, self-esteem. It energizes them to continue persisting in challenging tasks that others often consider impossible. So basically, well-being motivates us to move further, not to stop when the things get rough. So when shit hits the fan, if you do have a good state of well-being, you're gonna be motivated to move forward. This is a very long definition, what I do think it's important is to remember that entrepreneurs are the backbone of the global economy, and that the mental well-being and resilience of entrepreneurs underpins their success of their business. So let's see more about entrepreneurial well-being. A definition. Entrepreneurial well-being is experiencing satisfaction, positive effects, infrequent negative effects, and psychological functioning when developing, starting, growing, and running an entrepreneurial venture. In other words, it's about feeling fulfilled in business, working in a healthy lifestyle, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So body, mind, spirit. When we talk about entrepreneurial well-being, we don't talk about the kind of services that entrepreneurs are creating, but about the entrepreneurs themselves, about their own feelings and personal state. Psychological functioning is related to the emotions an entrepreneur can feel during the business activity: self-acceptance, personal growth, purpose, mental health, mastery, autonomy, positive relations. How did the two terms, the two concepts change throughout time? So entrepreneurship was strictly related to the idea of business. Business, being an entrepreneur, was seen as the ultimate goal in terms of business aspiration. Success, happiness, freedom were the key words. Very little attention was given to the actual challenges entrepreneurs face daily in terms of mental and physical stress. Well-being, on the other hand, has become an important topic of conversation over the past decades. In the US, psychologists started to look at the notion of well-being beyond the psychological definitions, and they initiated a shift in the way people can improve their well-being, not only in their personal life, but also in their professional ones. Most recently, the topic has become a hot topic during the COVID-19 pandemic, as well-being has been even more at the front page of political, psychological, and economic debates, as people have been experiencing the same distress all over the world. Entrepreneurs have been some of the most impacted category by the drastic measures linked to the pandemic. So right now, I want to introduce you first quiz. So first of all, thank you for listening until now. This was a short intro about what is entrepreneurial well-being. Right now, we're gonna start a short quiz where we invite you to take a self-reflection exercise, and let's see how our well-being is. So you should have a poll open right now in your Zoom window, and you need to check all the questions and then push the submit button at the end of the 10 questions. Then we're going to look at the results as well. So we're going to give you 5 minutes for this. We also have a counter now. How is that called? Timer on the screen. I couldn't find it. Results are starting to appear. I can't wait to see. Okay. As Georgiana said, yes, please write done in the chat. That was fun. Thank you, Mihaela. We are happy you enjoyed it. So this is the first webinar in Romania, but we had the webinar yesterday and the day before in Italy and Spain. And those quizzes really were very well received because we often don't get the chance to reflect on our lives because we are too busy doing things. So one asset from this program is that it's gonna give you space to analyze yourself, your situation, your business, and what you can do better. Because as I said, entrepreneurial well-being is about the entrepreneur more than success measured in profits and sales. As I see the quiz answers, I think we're gonna finish faster than 5 minutes. Yay. Thank you guys for the update. Great mental exercise from Cosmin. Thank you, Cosmin. We are happy it comes. Last minute and a half. And almost 100% participation. Well-being has been a part of my life for the past 3 years. I'm looking forward to introducing the entrepreneurial flavor. Thank you, Sabina. Great questions. Never thought of all the aspects raising the question. Great. I'm happy. Thank you for your feedback. Everything that you are gonna see in this webinar and in this program, it's the work of 4 organizations and many people involved. You can see 4 people here in this webinar. And this is only from Impact Hub Bucharest, but we had a team involved. I'm connected from 2 devices, I assume. That is okay to fill, yeah, only from 1, yeah. We often forget how important it is to take a moment to reflect on our feelings. Thank you, Elena, that's right. Okay, Ioana was asking, yes, you're gonna receive the slides from the webinar and an invitation to join the next one. Thanks for being with us today, even if only for half of the webinar. Ooh, so we are past 5 minutes.
I think we can show the results maybe if.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, now we can all see the results. So about if you think that you live a purposeful and meaningful life, 50% of you are 61 to 80%, and with a 33 from 80 to 100, over 50. So we are at 83%. I'm not sure if I should add percentages of people. So basically, most of you think that you live a purposeful and meaningful life. I'm happy. That's why we are on the 45th place, not on the 100. How lonely do you feel in your daily work life? Well, okay, you don't feel that lonely, which is good. How much do you feel you are making progress towards accomplishing your goals? Again, most of you, so we have 40% with 60 to 80. Most of you progress. For the others, we invite the program further. I'm making jokes, we're inviting all of you. So how anxious or frustrated do you feel? This is more balanced. So we have various percentages here. 33% for from 40 to 60% levels of anxiety and frustration. How much do you love what you're doing? Okay, most of you love what you're doing, and that's really important in your well-being as well. How is your physical health? Once again, most of you rated over 60. So most of you are happy with your health. How happy do you feel? 48% rated from 60 to 80. How much do you receive help and support? Once again, high levels, so you do feel supported by others. How positive do you feel? Once again, high levels, over 60%. And how much do you feel lost and confused? This should be a low score. So most of you don't feel lost and confused about your direction, which is great. We hope to be able to support you further in your ventures. So thank you guys. I'm happy you enjoyed the quiz, and this is the feedback we received from here. Monica is asking you about your feedback. So how do you feel about these questions? What surprised you about your own answers or about the others? So please do feel free to write in the chat, or anytime you want to ask a question live, please raise your hand and we're gonna pick up questions along the way. We also have a lot of content to go through, but we do want this webinar to be useful to you. So if we can answer live questions, we're gonna pick them up. So moving to entrepreneurial well-being under pressure. What are the entrepreneurial well-being challenges? Because being an entrepreneur is not a static job. There are a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows, with periods of exhilaration and fulfillment, and periods of stress and resource depletion. Loss of creativity and resilience can lead to burnout. So a few of the challenges that entrepreneurs usually face are considerable responsibility, no support, instability, a difficult economic environment, constantly fixing others' mistakes, no control over market, unreachable standards for success, no room for vulnerability, competition, no time for self-care, financial concern, and above all, the difficulty to detach from work once the day is over. And I'm curious, which are the challenges you face, honestly, in your entrepreneurial ventures? I honestly faced the one with not being able to detach. So working 24/7 and having no work-life balance is a part of being an entrepreneur. The pressure of the pandemic, because since the late 2019 and early 2020, the global situation has accentuated and added stressors to everyone's life. Entrepreneurs have fewer resources than large businesses and have been put under a lot of pressure economically, emotionally, physically, and mentally. The stressors as identified are about uncertainty, about the development of the pandemic, not knowing how long the restrictions are gonna last, working from home and being socially isolated, not seeing the employees to provide emotional support, not making the distinction between working hours and off time, so losing the work-life balance, putting the priority on protecting the business over mental well-being, and having very little or no governmental support. Overall, the pandemic has reduced the well-being of scale-up entrepreneurs. The nature of this anxiety has changed over the course of the pandemic, with early anxiety over economic and health uncertainty being replaced by anxiety over their responsibility to their employees and the broader community. So these are a few facts and figures from various statistics on the pandemic impact on entrepreneurs. So almost 40% of entrepreneurs report high levels of uncertainty and unpredictability. 57.7% worry about their own or their family's health. Only 32% were able to get hands-on support, and only 28% received informal financial help. Almost 50% were frustrated by the restricted social contact due to the pandemic. 50% didn't find enough time to mentally recover from work. 61% of entrepreneurs saw the very existence of their business under threat in the pandemic. 44% reported not getting sufficient sleep. And over 5,000 entrepreneurs from 23 countries declared that their life satisfaction has gone down by 12% since the pandemic and did not come back. This was the thing that the entrepreneurs from the days before from Italy and Spain added, that life satisfaction has gone down and did not go back up until now. And to help us with all these stressors and challenges in our entrepreneurial ventures, we're going to introduce today a model called PERMA model, which is a tool for well-being improvement. So first of all, we're going to look at the model, and then we're going to look at how and why it is important to use it us as entrepreneurs. So in 1998, Dr. Martin Seligman, who studied mental illness and pathology, decided to change his focus and study what is good and positive in life. He started the positive psychology movement and developed the PERMA model. It serves as a tool to examine positive psychology interventions that help make life worth living and how to define, quantify, and create well-being. He selected 5 components that people pursue because they are motivating and they contribute to well-being. They include both eudaimonic and hedonic components. Eudaimonia is about well-being, hedonism is about pleasure. So let's look at the model. P is from positive emotions. People who experience positive emotions are more innovative, are able to discover 3 times more solutions, are better able to manage stress, and experience increased productivity. Most people think that these are nice to have, but science has shown that they are vitally important to how we function our best. Engagement. Engagement is about the activities that keep us in flow. It's about when you lose yourself in reading a book or in playing the piano, for example, or it's like watching a kid when he does Lego. Everything else around him disappears because he is that engaged in his activity. So Monica just brought what is that? A guitar. So it's about the activities that keep us engaged and focused. People who experience this, so a state of flow, and flow is a book that you can follow up with, are able to perform better, are more intrinsically motivated, have reduced feelings of depression, and increased their overall well-being. Relationships, because also studies show that us being social beings, relationships are the basis of our happiness. And I'm sure that you also felt during your life that you can be happy about something that's happening in your life, but you are twice as happy if you share it with somebody. If you have a relationship where you can share that happiness, the happiness is larger. So it's important to have strong relationships at work, as they energize us and lead us to work well. On the flip side, corrosive relationships can drain our energy. People who experience positive relationships at work enjoy boosted motivation, and are thriving due to increased satisfaction and life happiness. So positive emotions, engagement, and relationships. M is from meaning. People at work experience meaning in three broad senses. Job-oriented meaning is where people feel their job is a means to an end. Career-oriented meaning relates to feeling that progression is present. Calling-oriented meaning is where people feel that they are doing what they are doing is a meaningful part of their personal fulfillment. First, people who work with a calling-oriented meaning in mind experience greater satisfaction with life and work, a greater sense of belonging. And the last letter, A, is for accomplishment. Accomplishments are those aspects that we have made significant efforts towards. Having a growth mindset that supports the idea of development and achieving goals. People who have a growth mindset feel they can find solutions that small achievements are important. Small achievements are about having a checklist. So the studies showed already that if you have a checklist at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, you can tick things out of that the checklist actually makes us happy. So these are small improvements which you can make every day. So a small recap. PERMA model is about positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. Thank you guys for asking questions. My colleagues are answering in the chat. So please don't forget that you can interact with us writing in the chat or raising your hands. So how is the PERMA model useful to entrepreneurs? This model can have an impact on your individual well-being. Practicing it reduces psychological distress and increases many aspects of your own life: vitality, job satisfaction, life satisfaction, commitment, mental health, and physical health. By having a positive impact on you, this model increases the common well-being as well. So now let's practice PERMA model. What you need to do, you're going to have a set of a list of actions which entrepreneurs can practice for each of the letters of the PERMA model. For each letter, you will have to check each box that applies on the following slides. After this quiz, if you want to share your own thoughts, so what you feel belongs to each letter, to each part, each component of the PERMA model, please raise your hand and you're going to be unmuted and you can add your own ideas, as well as you can add them in the chat. So we're going to start the activity. For this activity, you need to go to menti.com. Georgiana is writing you the instructions in the chat as well. You also have them on the screen. So you need to go to menti.com. If you are connected through a laptop, it's going to be better for you to use the phone for this one. Sorry. So go to menti.com and enter the code on the screen and in the chat. And pick 3 options from the list there. Okay, we also have a QR code. If that helps, you can scan it with your phone and you're going to be redirected to Menti. So for each letter, each component of the model, you need to pick 3 affirmations that belong there. I think you, oh, okay, thank you. This is the second one, Andre. going back to P. Super. Only they're small. I can't read them. They are very small on the screen. So take time away from your tasks and do some activities that boost creativity and help you get new ideas flow. Learn new things. Okay. So pick your own three. For this kind of exercise, there is no right or wrong answer. At the end of the 5 letters, we're going to give you a set of answers, but there is no right or wrong. We're going to see which ones pop up with more votes. So far, we have 3 that lead. So 4. Okay. We're going to wait for a couple of minutes so that more of you can vote. We are 60 participants and we have 30 answers. So let's see. It's a tie for the second place. So we have one affirmation that leads, but the second place is a battle. Christian raised his hand.
Can you hear us, Christian?
Awesome, perfect. Can you hear me as well?
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm confused. Which of the following is related to positive emotions? In my opinion, all of them are related to positive emotions. So maybe I didn't give the instruction to clear, because, well, what do I do? What happens now?
Well,
so I see a lot of options which are all positive, like the process or the end. So what am I supposed to do now? Just pick 3, like random 3, or what was the criteria here? What am I missing?
well, you can pick. It's like ranking them. So pick the 3 that are most related to creating positive emotions.
All right, so it's a personal choice. Like, what do I feel to be most related to positive emotions, right? Out of those options.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Welcome. Because of course, being engaged in one activity is going to create positive emotions for us. But we're going to rate those statements that are related to engagement under engagement. Of course, relationships also create positive emotions for us. But if the statement's about relationship, we're going to rate it under relationship and so on. So we have 46 answers already. Do we receive the poll results? I'm sure we're going to receive the Menti results. Andrea, can we also share the poll results? Yeah. So yes. Yes, Ivana, right now only positive emotions. Andrea is gonna move to the next slide when we get most of your answers. We are at 46. Pretty soon we're gonna move to the next slide. So you guys, if you want to answer this question, please do it right now. Otherwise, so leader for positive emotions, it's take time away from your tasks and do some activities that boost creativity and help you get new ideas flow. This is the most rated statement. The second most rated is reflect on that, on what went well. 1 second. I can see. Okay, reflect on that went well today for your business after each day and be grateful. Okay, so it's a great gratitude exercise. Okay, so Andrea, I think we can move on to engagement. So right now you're going to have the same statements for engagement. Okay, we already have answers. Okay. So right now, pick your top 3 for engagement. Which are the statements most related to being engaged in an activity? So engagement, flow, when the world disappears, you're doing something and there's nothing around you anymore because you can't see anything around you that engaged in the activity. That's the state of flow. Unfortunately, the author of the book Flow just recently died. Indulge in the favorite aspect of your work. So far, leads. So, of course, the answers vary. That's why I told you that there are no right or wrong answers, because we are different people and we see things differently. Even if we talk about a concept, we have different definition and different perceptions, different things that keep us engaged, for example, or that bring us positive emotions. I'm wondering actually, and please write in chat, what do you feel about this? I don't know, what brings you positive emotions, for example? About engagement, for example, I would have written that drawing. So I don't have drawing here on these options, but indeed, indulging in the favorite aspect of my work keeps me engaged. Yeah. So that's a statement that is true for me. But if I'm asked freely, my first answer is drawing. So you can also share, if you are done answering with the mentee, you can also share your personal input and in the chat. Oh, we have a second leader. Join events, associations, groups where you can meet other entrepreneurs with whom you can exchange ideas. Okay, so participating in events, keep 15 of you engaged. Great. So if you want to submit an answer, now is the moment. Otherwise, we're going to move to the next question. Answers are still coming. For me, engagement is not flow. It needs hard work and planning. Flow is more of a natural fluid state of mind. Thank you, Alexandra. As I said, we can see things differently. Engagement in this model was more about flow. So we move to positive relationships. Whoa. Welcome. My favorite activity that is very engaging for me is writing. Time flies and I'm still writing that blog post that I visualized. Great, thank you, Mihaela. We have 3 leaders so far. The answers are not that diversified as they were before. So we have fewer options checked for relationships. Okay. So far the leader is use active listening and empathy when interacting with other staff members. The second place, keep in touch and follow up. On the third place, join events, association groups where you can meet other entrepreneurs with whom you can exchange ideas. Give back to people to gain benefits from your business. And analyze the quality of your service and what it brings to people. Okay. So the three leaders for this component, the three leaders are very clear. I feel like this is more clear because there are only a few answers directly relating to relationship. Indeed, it is more subjective. What keeps you engaged and what brings you joy, yeah. It's very different from one the individual to the other, but seeing relationships in those statements, yeah, it's more easier to identify. Indeed. Okay. So, if there are not any more answers coming, we have a ranking already. Okay. So going once, going twice, and we're gonna move to the other slide. Thank you. It's gonna appear on the screen soon. Meaning. Let's see. Pick 3 options that are related to meaning. I'm gonna leave you another few minutes or so. Here as well, we have a leader. So the leader here is reflect on the reasons of your business actions and their impact. Can you leave the code again in the chat? Georgie, can you put the code again in the chat, please? Thank you. Votes are coming in. On the second place, analyze the quality of your service and what it brings to people. In the meantime, if you're done with the quiz, you can also share in the chat other thoughts and ideas about this. So on the third place, we have reflect on what went well today for your business after each day and big break. Okay. Waiting for another couple of answers. If you want to contribute, and to pick 3 for meaning. Please do that. For me, meaning is deeply related to the impact of my work on society and environment. Thank you, Ioana. Okay, so if there are no more answers coming, we're gonna move to the last letter, the last component of the PERMA model, accomplishments. So let's see. Which of the following do you think is related to accomplishment? Keep your goals smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. We have a leader in the answers. That was the easy one, right? Accomplishments, goals, measurable. Okay, what comes up? Set the regular objectives that you can revise and adjust to reach your final goal. The second option. Let's see. Which is the third place? We have a battle on the third place. Answers coming in. So the battle is among use a planner or schedule to help you track your actions and progress, and make a to-do list and prioritize must, should, could actions. Yeah, I understand the battle. Make plans for the near and far future so that you have something to look forward to. Okay. So the first two places are clear. For the third one, we have several options. But don't forget that this is something you can do starting tomorrow. So make a to-do list and check it off at the end of the day and see how satisfied you feel. I'm curious if you did that and if you did feel the satisfaction of crossing things off the list. Right. But I think physical crossing, so I mean with pen and paper, just cross off the list is satisfying. Okay. So if there are no more answers coming for accomplishment, thank you guys for participating in this. Okay, Mihaela also shares with us that she wants to add celebrating small wins. It gives you a feeling of accomplishment. Indeed, yeah, small wins are important. In my opinion, if you have a meaning in your activity, you will also have engagement, positive emotions, and maybe even accomplishment. So, yeah, they are interconnected. The fact that we categorize them and include them under a certain component or letter from the model, it doesn't mean that they are separate. As I was saying at the beginning, we are a whole. We cannot separate, I cannot separate the mother Lucia from the business Lucia from, we are a whole. It's the same with this model. They are all interconnected. They are not separate. Why the model helps us is because by having this model and these components in mind, it helps us put things into perspective and give us a mindset to think about all of these components. So it's not like they're separate. It's only things to think about. So think about your positive emotions, your engagement activities, your relationships, what brings you meaning, and the accomplishment. Doesn't mean that they are separate things, because we are a whole. We are not separate beings. It's a great satisfaction in crossing the objectives done for the day, but also a little bit frustrating when there are objectives uncrossed at the end of the day, in the days when I don't make them smart. From Cosmin, thank you, Cosmin. Indeed, that's frustrating. This is about time management. Perhaps we'll talk about time management in the program as well. I love lists. They always help me keep track of progress. Thank you. Andrea. Okay. So if we don't have any more answers to this, if you have any questions, any feedback, please raise your hand and you can unmute and even open camera if you want. These are the possible answers for each letter. As said, there are no right or wrong answers. We simply made a few suggestions for each of the letters you already analyzed. These are the same affirmations you went through. Some indeed were self-explanatory, so like having SMART goals for accomplishments. Others were more subjective. Yeah. Okay. So small space for if you have questions or if you want to add something in the chat or live questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we're gonna move to our next step. Going once, going twice. So moving further then. Okay, great. So this is where I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because we are now gonna welcome Ioana. Ioana, can you hear me? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to see you guys.
Welcome, Ioana. So I'm gonna give the floor to Ioana now, so she can share from her experience, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, and the lessons she learned from this experience. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself, if you don't already know who Ioana is and about Fab Studio and everything she represents. Welcome, Ioana. We are very happy to have you here. Thank you for accepting our invitation. And you have the floor.
Thanks for inviting me, guys. And congratulations. Very cool information I found out since I've been in the talk. Hi to everyone. I think I know some of you, and I'm happy to meet the others. So my name is Ioana Dodan, as you can see written underneath my face, and I am a visual personal brand architect, which means that together with my team at the Fab Squad, that's the name of our brand, we create the visual strategy, graphics, website, and photos for people who want to present themselves coherently and beautifully online and offline. I founded the Fab Squad in 2015, and prior to the Fab Squad, I was a real architect, the one that builds buildings. And just before I founded the Fab Squad, I had been living in Shanghai in China for 4 years, where I used to design multi-use big buildings. Now when I'm not doing visual personal branding, I really like to dance, street dance. I'm a dancer and I play with my 4-year-old. I used to like to go on trips to Asia. I still have this love for Asia. I love noodles. I drink Prosecco like water, and I like to give it to everybody that comes to my studio. It's basically mandatory. And I love going out and good people. And one of my greatest beliefs is that self-love is our greatest superpower. I know it's very popular now, this term, and it's very used. But I think that in my job, it's important that the people who work with me get to a point where they really like themselves before they work on their brands. I think that what motivates me is the need for more realness, actually. And this realness comes from self-love, and the realness that people choose to show in online. It's what motivates me to do my work, and also motivate the people who work with me to help them push this realness. So I basically fight with the images that society has imprinted in our mind, the fact that you have to be in a certain way. I reveal the essentials that make you unique. And what I try is to make you like that and help you build that into your online house. And my everyday challenge is to reach within the hearts and minds of these people I work with and see their real selves, with no filter, no limiting beliefs, no judgment. And this is why sometimes you need a lot of Prosecco and a lot of patience and love for people. And if I go to the pandemic thing, in the first few months of 2020, I was desperate, and I think if we would have this talk in January 2020, I might have been still just taking portraits of people and not doing brand, although I really wanted to do that. I was doing mostly portraits photography and trying to find the time to change my website and to be present in as an entrepreneur, not just a photographer. And I changed everything after that. But before I changed everything, the plan for 2020 was to try, and photograph less and take a month off and search for what I want to do. Well, basically the pandemic, the lockdown forced me to do that. And even though in the beginning I hated it and I was really scared, and I had this 3-year-old or 2-year-old in my house screaming for help. I was basically screaming for help every day until my parents told us to just come and live with them. So that was great. And I feel like many of us did that. The grandparents are the saints of the pandemic times, especially for us entrepreneurs, I think, because I was in saving mode somehow. The lockdown basically was good because we learned how to ask for help. I learned how to ask for help. I didn't know how to do that before. And after I got it from my parents, I locked myself in a room. I stopped everything I was doing and I started listening. I was very present in different online communities that were looking for ideas, for clarity, for connection. I met so many people, and I found this opportunity in online to get close to people that usually were different to get close to, and build relationship with them that would help me find more about what I want to do or where I want to go. So I gathered information about what our clients need, and I rethought everything. During the first 6 months, I think in the first 6 months from the 2020, I changed everything: the website, the offer, the product, our image, our social media, our team. And in the autumn of 2020, we launched it. And since then, after 1 year of that, even though the times were still hard, our business tripled in 1 year. The most important lesson I learned is that I needed to stop before doing everything for a longer period of time. That was the most important. And luckily, also the next one was that I learned how to let my ego go and ask for help from many people. So what I'm going to do now is to take this lesson and always stop every 3 to 5 years, look at my business, talk to my clients, and change it up. I would say that this is one of the advice that I would give to me. or to everybody who's struggling during the period that you're trying to stay creative and everything, I think the most important thing is to listen and to ask your clients. I use Google Forms. I give to my clients lots of questions every time they come, and after a while after they come. And always I change it up. If they need something else, I'm going to build a product that's going to be around that. I'm never going to keep a product if it's not going to sell for longer than, I don't know, 6 months. And I feel like listening is not just because it's good for business, but also because in these times, I think people just want to be heard. So if you're present, they will come back as clients or friends, I don't know. But being present online is exactly about them. It's being present with a purpose. It's something that I do that I think helps for a personal brand or a brand like mine. Not just because it's how it should be, but because you have a purpose and you want to help some people with your product. So this purpose is something that I actually found during the pandemic, because I saw the need for people to have clarity on their online personal brands. And I would also advise other entrepreneurs, even though I don't think of myself as this very, I'm not such an experienced entrepreneur. I learned from a lot of others, but I think something that unites all entrepreneurs that I like is they are really real. They're real in their communication and their talk, their motivation, because nowadays I feel like, especially small businesses, they need to be supported by their founder's opinion and their personal touch. And my plans for the future is to grow my team. Right now we are 3 people that are always here, and 2 more that are on projects. We will remodel our studio this year, and for the 2022 it's going to look differently. We want to make some classes for social media content creation, and I basically would love for me to work from the beach 6 months a year. That's a personal goal that I hope is going to happen maybe maybe in the winter of 2022. So that's it for me. I want to hear any questions that any of you have. I'm going to look in the
Answers.
chat. Where am I looking?
Yeah, we have.
Okay, I got it. If you find, Salut.
Ioana?
Okay. Da.
We have questions in the Q&A section. So Elena says, Ioana, you are an inspiration. I could listen to you for hours. What would be a piece of advice you would give to an entrepreneur who is his first business?
First, I would say, if it's in the beginning of the business, go and talk to an entrepreneur who does something similar, has been doing this for a longer time, maybe. Always reach out to somebody who does something or did something for a longer period of time, because usually what we do as entrepreneurs is the ones that I feel like are there for the entrepreneurs will talk to the others and will help and will give some advice and will say about their struggles and what they did, so that you don't lose time by making the same mistakes. So reaching out to the others would be nice. The other thing that I would do is to maybe ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. So in my opinion, the motivation that you have is always something personal. And if you find a way to put it into your communication, I think is going to help, and then drive your and give you the drive that you need to evolve.
Thank you. So the second question from Mihaela. Hello, Ioana. I'm Mihaela Lunaru. I'm a solopreneur, a social media manager, also in the creative business as you. My question is, what are the top 3 qualities that you think a creative entrepreneur should have to succeed in business?
Creative one. Okay. I think listening skills are the most important, especially in creative businesses, because if it's a business, then it's not about just you as a creative. It's different from being an artist. An artist puts his art into the world, okay? If you're a business person who is also creative, then you have to listen to your client, their needs, and this is very far away from an egocentric artist. So I would say that a creative business should have half their ego creativeness and then half the client, and listen to it. The other thing that I think I value is the skill, I think, to take criticism positively, and always learn from criticism and not think of it of like something that is there to, I don't know, give you more work time or something like that. I know many designers who tend to be very offended when they get criticism, and these are the kind of creative people that I really don't like to work with. And the other thing would be, I think, staying very close to the context. Creativeness, it should be related to contexts like politics, pandemics, everything that happens around us should stay relevant to your brand and to the brand that you work with.
Thank you. Thank you, Ioana. So Mihaela has a second question. She says she loves your work and is following you online.
Thanks.
What do you think is the main differentiator that you have in the market?
For me, well, I listen to my clients. They say it's basically my personality, which I think is a very bad thing for a business because it's not scalable. But also what I've heard from my clients is that people like the fact that when they come to us, they get the full package. They get the strategy, they get the photography, they get the strategy for the visual brand online, and then maybe also the website. So this is also a differentiator. I know that there are many agencies that do this for brands, but there are not many agencies who do this for personal brands. We specialize on that.
Thank you.
We basically do that. We don't do anything else.
Thank you. Another question from Sabina. How did you find your first paying client?
I didn't find them. They really insisted to pay me because in the beginning I was really reluctant to take anybody's money, and it was hard for me to ask for money. And then what happened is that I had no more cushion. When I was not asking for the money, I had a cushion. I had safety from somewhere. I had been having that job in Shanghai, and we came with some savings, and we had that. And at some point we decided to buy a house, and the savings were no more. So in that point, it's the best thing that I did. It was very hard, but it really motivated me to ask for money. So that's how the paying clients happen more and more often. I asked for the money, for the real money, not for, I didn't give any more discounts from the beginning and everything else.
Thank you, Ioana.
Thanks.
So another question from Theo. Okay, how did you get clients?
Thanks, Theo, for the question. My clients come, it's more or less 30% recommendation, and the other 70% it's social media and website. If this is, maybe, is this the question? Or it's the way that I get them, that I make them become my client. I don't know.
So Theo, if you can hear us, perhaps you can add another question if you need some more clarification.
Mm.
Until then, we have another question from Gabriela. How have you managed to continue on your dream when the odds were not so much in your favor?
Thanks, Gabriela. My odds were good when we first came back to Romania. The problem, if you were talking about the pandemic, because I don't think the pandemic was the hardest. It was harder for me in the beginning of the business in 2016 or so, when I was really struggling with the idea, why did I give up on architecture? Is this the way I want to go? Am I going to make the money that I really have to make to live? I continued because it was such a bad match for me to be an employee that I was so stubborn to make it happen. And as I told you in my presentation, I asked for help. So I got a coach. I got into therapy because I think that my brain is can do a lot of things but it cannot do them alone. So for me, coaching and therapy helped a lot when the odds were not in my favor.
Thank you. Another question from Marina. I love your story and your mindset. What do you do to keep evolving and grow personally?
Thank you, Marina. Personally, well, I'm very frustrated. I don't have time to read more than I would like, more than I do. But what I do is I listen to lots of podcasts that deal with emotions or how you talk to people. Also, I like to get into private projects that are with women and for women. I'm very motivated about feminist moves. And I think when I meet these women, they help me grow personally a lot. And the other thing that I do is I always try to find a good relationship with myself through therapy, through coaching, and through self-portrait photography that helps me find a way to balance my outside with my inside.
Thank you. Thank you. Another question from Diana this time. Although it's very rewarding, being an entrepreneur, sometimes it's difficult to get a proper work-life balance. Any advice on this?
I read something at some point that there is no such thing as work-life balance for an entrepreneur, because an entrepreneur who chooses the business that they are so passionate about, it's never going to be work and life. It becomes something that is a lot in between. And I feel like for me, the struggle was to give into this and not expect it to be very separate. Of course that I have separate times, and I'm very keen on not taking my laptop with me at home, and I leave it at a studio, or not answering my phone after 5 p.m. or so. But these are, I don't feel like, if you're into this entrepreneurship, I don't feel like it's gonna be so clear. It's not, there's no fences between it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
stop expecting to have a work-life balance, basically.
Yeah.
Another question from Florin this time. How many clients do you refuse and why? So do you refuse clients?
Yeah, I refuse, but I don't refuse them like, no, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna work with you. When I feel like somebody, and I used to do this more before I was very clear in my communication, and there were people who would come and ask for my services, but they didn't know exactly what I was giving, and that was my mistake because I was not clear on what I was selling. And I used to not really like the way they were asking for my services. And I could feel that the problem was basically the price, usually. And they wanted a discount from the beginning. And the way I did it is I never gave them a discount. And they said no in the end. Or I gave them a really big price, a very big price. And if they said yes, then I would be like, okay, whatever, let's do it because it's going to be worth it. Or if they say no, I would be happy. Otherwise, I refuse clients if I'm too, for example, we don't work on infinite brands in a month. And if there's no more spots, I'm going to tell you that there's no more spots. I'm going to tell you when we can start. And if it's okay with you to start in 2 months or 3 months, then okay. If not, that's it.
Thank you. So Elena says she's very delighted that she found out about Hub Squad and about you through this session. She loves your vibe and positivity. How do you prioritize your daily tasks, including your mental health session, meditation, reflection, anxiety relief exercises? She says she struggles a lot with the fear of missing out.
I'm a FOMO. I'm the queen of FOMOs. I'm the queen of FOMOs. I hate it. I hate pandemic because I'm never at the events. I'm never anywhere. So I get it. I get it, Elena. The problem is that I use Google Calendar. This is how I prioritize my life. It's the only way I can do it. Otherwise, I don't remember anything, not even to pack my kids' lunch or anything, nothing. Everything is in Google Calendar. And also my therapy, my breathing therapy. And I also have an app that is called Breathe that helps me stop and breathe for a minute. And I have this app that I used to have an app for meditation, but I don't have it anymore. I just stop and breathe when I need it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
A question from Irina. You talked about the importance of loving yourself. Can you talk more about this process? And what do you think is more difficult, truly loving yourself or loving others?
I feel like both are very difficult. Irina, thanks for the question. I think that you can, the process is very personal and each person has their own path. For me, it's a visual path. That's why I'm doing the project that I'm doing that's called Self-Love Club. And I'm very happy Lucia is one of the people in the project. But for me, it's the collective power of the people that try to do that. It inspires me. It's very important for me to have role models and people who do it and search for advice from them. Otherwise, it's very difficult. I don't know. I'm not there yet. I'm in the process. So I will tell you when I finish it. The process includes the therapy, includes the photography, includes breathing, includes, I don't know, using the creams in the evening and the things that I never used to do before trying to do this.
Thank you. So the questions keep rolling in. We actually have another 3 more minutes for the Q&A. We're going to answer as many questions as we can.
Sure.
So can you recommend some books that help you developing your business?
Yes, There was this book, I also have it here. It's called Business Model Generation, that really helped me with my business plan. And otherwise, I really liked the art of not giving a fuck. I feel like these two for my business. The other books that I read are more into personal growth. That really, I think that they are very much helping me in the business too. But these two would be two of them.
Thank you. So you said you quit architecture. What was wrong?
It was very depersonalizing for me, and it was very the time that it would take from the moment that you begin a process of the project and when you finished it, it was too long for me. And most of the times it used to stop at some point. And I was really frustrated that there was no finalization of the process.
Thank you. And from Alexandra, how is it to be a mother to a toddler and an entrepreneur? What do you compromise?
I came back to work when my son was 3 months old, and I got a nanny that would stay with him for some hours each day. That was hard, but it was very necessary. I needed it for myself. And then therapy helped a lot. And after that, I realized that for me, it's important to find a nursery, a kindergarten. So Toma went to the kindergarten since he was 1 year old. And that was the compromise, let's say, but I feel like it helped both of us.
Thank you. So Anka, Ioana, I personally appreciate the way you see the changing yourself, your business, and adapting. I consider this is very difficult context to act in, to deal with changes with so much clarity. Where your resources are coming from for this constant looking for change?
It's very difficult. It's never easy. It's not easy for me too. And the resources are the support that I get from my husband, my team, and my parents sometimes when they just come and help us with the kid. That's basically it. Time and asking for help.
Thank you. So Alexandra says you are gorgeous. She's also in Self-Love Club and she met you in person.
Oh, yeah.
You're amazing.
Thanks.
Thanks. From Alexandra. So people are very appreciate your presence here. And these are the last 2 questions that we're going to take right now. Do you have moments where the imposter syndromes make itself present along the way? And which are your role models? So these are going to be
totally. I can ask them in both. So I have this feeling always that I'm not a good photographer. I always think of myself like, oh my God, I'm not a photographer. I've never been to the class of photography or something like that. So one of my role models is, for example, Alex Delmano. I feel like he's a great photographer and I would love to learn more from him. One of my goals is to go and maybe learn from him. And when I get asked for people to, I don't know, create photographs for an expo or for a big project, I always feel like, oh my God, but I'm not a real photographer. I have this feeling sometimes because I identify with the personality of an architect, not a photographer. So this is something that is weird sometimes. And the other times is when people that are much older than I am ask for my advice. And I feel like I am too young to give advice to people that are over 45. But the fact is that they want advice to adapt to a market that I can relate to more than they can relate to. And after I realized that, Sometimes I'm more like, okay, let's do this. I can do it. But yes, it's always there with me.
Yay. Thank you very much, Ioana. Thank you for being so open and giving us so many details about what you do, about your clients and your activity and
Thanks.
everything you do. I'm really grateful to also be in a self-love club. Guys, I gave you the link to the site, the Fab Squad by Ioana, and you can see more of her work there. So,
thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and have a good rest of the event.
Thank you, Ioana. If you can stay further, you are most welcome to stay. Otherwise, we're really grateful to have had you today here. Thanks.
Also, thank you.
So, guys, right now we are going to take a 15 minutes break. So we meet here at 3:55 ish, because it's 38 right now. So take a break, take a coffee, take water, make a few steps, get away from the computer, some self-care and well-being exercises during a 15 minutes break, and see you back here soon. Thank you, Andrea, for doing that. So, yeah, we discussed before the break about personal well-being and entrepreneurial well-being. Right now, after the break, we're going to invite you to move further to a society level, to a global level, so to broaden our view. But first of all, I would like to know, to get some feedback from you, either in the chat or you can raise your hand and tell us how was the first part for you? How was the intervention from Ioana? How much did you feel it helped you so far? Any feedback is most welcome from the first part. So either in the chat or raise your hand and Andrea will help us unmute you and you'll be able to talk to us directly. If nobody has feedback, we're gonna go further. We also have another model for you. So we have another quiz, another exercise, and another model. Okay, thank you, Juana. So Juana says it made her think a lot. Alexandra appreciated the presentation. Bogdan, it was enlightening. I'm at the beginning with my first business, so yeah, it helped. I'm very happy to hear that, Bogdan. Thank you. Juana, at my life and business. It made me think a lot at my life and business. Okay. Era Luca, I like the quiz about the entrepreneur's well-being. Very good questions. Wonderful. All your feedbacks help us to develop the kits further. Because if we know what's helpful for you, we can work on that. I got some good vibes from Ioana, and also the notion of entrepreneurial well-being will be present from now on in my mind. Great, thank you. It was very insightful. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. I'm very happy it was helpful. This is very important. We are not doing these webinars only to tick to-do list box. We are actually building them to help you, to support you. I also liked Ioana's energy. I didn't know her before, but she had some human inputs. Delia, I really like Perma model and I feel very inspired by Ioana's story. Thank you, guys. It's great. Yeah, so a Perma model gives you a perspective, so some checkpoints to think about. And the next model hopefully will do the same, raise some questions in your minds and give you new perspectives. Yay. So the invitation remains. You can at any point ask questions in the chat, make comments, and raise your hand if you want to ask something live. It's no problem. We'd actually love to hear your voices as well. So not only my own, but I'm gonna take comments and questions in the chat as well if you don't want to speak out. So moving further. Okay, Diana, it's helpful to interact with others in a similar position as myself, also understanding the importance of branding from Ioana's perspective. And Ioana, thanks you guys for everything. Left your vibes. I have to go now. Okay, thank you, Ioana. Thank you for being with us. And yes, you can find Ioana on Instagram at ioana.an. Thank you, Ioana, for being here. So we're gonna move further then. We're gonna go to broaden our view to social well-being. So what is social well-being? What challenges for entrepreneurs is both reaching personal well-being as well as social well-being, so not stopping at personal well-being. The social well-being is a state in which basic human needs are met, quality of life is taken care of, and people are able to coexist peacefully in communities with opportunities for advancement. Why is it important for us? Entrepreneurship is a source of personal development, growth, and well-being, and often can create positive change in society, providing breakthrough commercial and social innovations that contribute to social well-being and further to achieve sustainability goals. The interesting part is that when you talk about sustainability, most people refer to recycling and rationalizing energy and so on, but we really need to move past that point. So right now we need to move the focus from self-interest to the common good, from being the best in the world to being the best for the world. Social well-being enables you to create boundaries that encourage communication, trust, and conflict management. Social well-being is critical to building emotional resilience and encompasses the extent to which individuals feel that they make valid social contributions, view society as meaningful and intelligible, experience a sense of social belonging, maintain positive attitudes toward others, and believe in the potential for society to evolve positively. So, after a brief introduction on social well-being, we're going to invite you to take another quiz. It's another set of 10 questions of self-reflection. And since the first one was a hit among you and made you think, I really hope that these questions are going to help you as well. So Andrea is going to start the quiz. You also have 5 minutes again to answer this question. And then hit submit, please. Yes, as Georgiana tells you in the chat, please write in the chat done when you are done with the poll. Thank you, Georgiana. Oh, Sabina was fast. 1 minute, and Lena as well. Mihaela. This wasn't shorter. How come did you finish so fast? Great, thank you. Sabina is telling us that she answered based on feeling. It would be cool to have instruments to measure the accuracy of our answer. What would be the benchmark for accuracy? Because these are very individual and personal answers, and very subjective answers. So what would be the benchmark to measure accuracy? Or I wonder if you mean accuracy compared to national scores, for example. Sabina, if you want to add, you can raise your hand. We have to raise hands.
Yeah, so I was, can you hear me, first of all?
Yeah, yes, Sabina. All good.
Cool. Yeah, it would be interesting to see, like, okay, I feel like I have, like I involve the local community in my business, but is it really happening? What would that look like? What does that mean? What are the metrics for that? Like, is there a national, like you mentioned, scale of what a company should do in order to be considered a sustainable, like green practices business? It would be interesting to see if there are such metrics and such a scale, because yeah, I feel like my social impact is strong and I'm doing good in my community, but it could very well be a perception thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was what I was getting at.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So I think the study I shared before is going to help you. We're going to have the link from Andrea in the follow-up email. I think it's going to help you because you have indicators that are measured nationally and at European level and global level as well. So you also have a benchmark. But as for our discussion today, we're going to go social, not only green, but the social at a broader level, economical and so on. So it's not only green, but I'm sure we can find also reports on green. Christian, you want to add something?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to help my fellow workmate here who spoke previously. Well, okay, you're right. Everything can be, and it is subjective, right? The impact that you're making on someone or something, or your community, or your workplace. But there are also aspects that can be measured, like very specifically. You mentioned something about a business, right? Try to weight the amount of paper that you waste per month. That's a good start if you want to work towards a better environment, right? If you want to build your business in a more sustainable way. How about we reduce the output of paper that we throw away by 10% month after month after month, right? And this is just one item, right? The paper, waste of paper, which is, well, huge if you ask me. By my knowledge, it's huge what we're doing with wasted paper. So just as the same way you can measure the paper waste output, there are also other items relevant and relatable to your own business, which I know nothing about, that you can also scale like this. It was just a suggestion, so maybe it can help you.
Thank you, Christian. Yes, on each area you can find different indicators. So yes, the one with the paper is about being green. But if we're gonna go for social, you can measure how many employees you have, for example, or how many collaborators, how many suppliers do you pay, and help support their families as well. So this is a social impact. So yeah, it depends on the business, but there are indicators that can be measured. We also have the raised hands, Christian and somebody else. Andrea is helping us.
I think Anca and Bogdan wanted to say something. I've opened their mics, but they have to open them as well.
So Anca, Bogdan, if you can hear us. If not, Christian, you want to add?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, nice. So yeah, in terms of social scalability, I'm sure, or you should be familiar with the funnel scheme, right? So you get this many likes, which you can turn into this many clients, which you can turn into this many recurring clients, right? So again, addressing to my colleague who spoke earlier, scaling the social interactions can be made very easy by applying the funnel scheme. You should just research it, go on Google, and you will find enough information on how to transform the simple likes or the simple social interactions into paying customers for your business. And that's scalable, 100%. You can follow numbers and increase those numbers as per your desires.
Thank you, Christian. Sabina actually is going to implement this. Ruxandra.
Hi, I just wanted to add to the impact over the community topic, something that I find quite interesting. We actually are partnered with the university in our town, so we can help them, you know, provide for their students that mandatory practice internship. It's like a course they have to take. It's a sort of internship, so it's a very fulfilling experience. It's very time and energy consuming, but in the end, after 1 month of work with the students, it's a very, very fulfilling experience. And in my opinion, it does bring plus value in the community.
Thank you, Sandra. Okay. Thank you. So Ioana is telling us that the 3 pillars of sustainability, social, environmental, economical, should have the same value. None should be more important than the other. For example, profit be more important than the well-being of employees. Indeed, yeah. So we're actually going to talk about this further. So thank you guys for your interventions. They are very, very valuable. Okay. I see that the poll was also very useful, but seems easier than the first one. So I'm gonna end the poll and let's look a bit at your answers. So how much are you able to make and maintain meaningful, positive relationships and regular contact with other people in your world? Okay, for 46%, scored from 60 to 80. Okay, so we have high scores here. How much do you include your local community in planning your business? Okay, this the scores are average, so only 40 to 60 stands out to 30% of the answers. So many of you include, but not all of you include your local community. Okay. This would be one way to increase your sustainability of your business. How much do you take care of your nutrition and select products from fair trade business? This is also balanced. So 32% set from 60 to 80. But some of you don't take that much care of it. And this is a marker of your own well-being, for example, but also an impact at a local level, a social level, by selecting the local products, for example. How much respect, empathy, and tolerance do you have for other people? Very high scores here as well. So 49% and 43%, 60 to 100. How much are you aware of the social impact of your project? Most of you are aware of the social impact of your project. So most of you ask those questions. How much do you feel you belong to a group, a community, or an organization? Okay. 30% from 40 to 60, 38%, 60 to 80. Okay, so many of you feel that they belong. How much are you able to make consumer choices that respect the environment? Okay. All of you make choices that respect the environment, but some have more focus on it. How much do you feel you contribute to the quality of life of your team, your family, your clients, customers, etc.? Okay, we have a majority of 54% that said they contribute 60 to 80. How much do you include your local environment in planning your business? Okay, only 8 said that they almost don't involve, but all the others do. So how much do you contribute to social well-being? We also have many scores above 40% here as well. So I think we have a group that is very focused on social contribution as well. So happy to have you here. Okay. So moving on to conscious entrepreneurship. So let's see what we call by conscious entrepreneurship. So conscious entrepreneurs are those who want to create a business model that is economically profitable, environmentally conscious, and create social value. These are the three pillars mentioned. I forgot by whom. Sorry, I forgot who mentioned the three pillars. Those that are should be equally important. And this is the orientation to sustainability I was talking about earlier. So going beyond recycling and saving energy to focusing on all three pillars: economy, environment, and social. So a definition sustainability is still in place, although it's given in 87. Meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs is the definition from the UN. And sustainability encompasses three key aspects: environment, social, economic. This is a model called triple bottom line or triple balance. And it looks like this. So in short, it's people, planet, profit, economy, environment, and social. And we can call our business sustainable when we actually manage to meet all three, or at least focus our energy in all three directions. So like I told you in the PERMA model, it's about having all three components in mind all the time. So what is the triple balance model? Sustainability supports the well-being of individuals and communities, promotes a better economy where there is little waste and pollution, fewer emissions, more jobs, and a better distribution of wealth. Having a triple bottom line approach to your project is raising the quality of life for yourself and for the others. We can achieve this by becoming what we call a conscious leader. Leader in a broader sense. So don't think about the definition of leadership versus management, but leaders we can all be in our workplace, in our business, in our community. We can all be leaders. So we should all become conscious leaders and have mindful actions and behaviors by embracing a worldview to recognize the connection between the planet and humanity. And how do we do this? Through personal and organizational choices, positive environmental effects, and social change. So keeping in mind all the time, all three pillars. A very good definition of sustainability indeed. It's interesting that it's from 87 and it still applies. Okay, thank you, Ioana. Yeah, Ioana, you told us about the three pillars. Okay, unfortunately, the capacity of maintaining positive relationships was highly affected by the pandemic in my case. Sorry, Ioana, to hear that. I'm also taking comments from the chat. Thank you for sharing. And sorry you had this issue. I think positive relationships was an issue for all of us during the pandemic. Okay, I really hope and honestly that through this project we can all find innovative ideas to move past this period in time, because as I told you, this is the main purpose of this project. So what do conscious leaders do? They act as role models. They encourage behavior change among their team. They help improve processes and create a culture of well-being, network, share ideas, and learn from each other. They promote and have a sustainable lifestyle for personal and social well-being. Average leaders take good care of themselves and their families. Good leaders take good care of themselves, their families, and the part of the community. Great leaders not only take care of all stakeholders, but also want to change the world. They want to leave the world better than they found it. And because I don't like to talk only about world peace, so it's not like a beauty contest where we also all say what we want to achieve in the world. No more wars and world peace and hunger. I'm a more practical person. So for this, I'm going to propose you a new exercise where we're going to think about 3 aspects. So what you need to do is find 3 positive conduct in your daily life that make you a conscious leader. Find 3 challenges that you find to be in being a better conscious leader, and 3 ways you can change the situation. So basically, we're gonna go to Menti. We're gonna share the new code soon. And okay, Andrea already shared it. So you can write on menti.com the code there and think about 3 positive conducts in your daily life for becoming a conscious leader. Because I don't like to only talk in general, but to get inspired one from the other. So, Christian, you had a lot of ideas, and I'm sure many of you also have many ideas. Please share with us all, because I don't want this to be only a theoretical webinar. I want us to learn from each other how we can do this, starting tomorrow. So like saving paper was one. So I'm gonna leave you like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Please let us know if you have issues in joining Menti and seeing the slide and so on. Yes, Raluca is from the 87, but we should get much better at applying it, indeed. Thank you. Empathy, the act of listening, being able to give negative feedback. Thank you. Always take time to reflect on what went well, what didn't go well, and what can change, what we are grateful for. You can have in mind all 3 pillars. So people, profit, planet, respect, empathy, motivation. Thank you. You can also think about the PERMA model, because it is all interconnected. Align my actions with my moral values. Act knowing that all my actions have consequences and direct impact on society and environment. Indeed. Share your knowledge, knowing to receive criticism, empower people around you. Meditation, self-awareness, motivation. Helping people understand others and their needs. Enjoying the very first glass of water every day. It's about gratitude. Our office went paperless. Congratulations. About this paperless thing, I don't know if you saw that this trend, that a lot of corporations, companies have this line under their signature. Please don't print this message. So I think this is one way where we can encourage people not to print. So another thing I saw in one of our hubs was that instead of straws, plastic straws, they introduced pasta. Or like the things that you stir sugar in coffee, it was also pasta instead of plastic thingy. listen more collaboratively, planning, researching awareness, educate yourself, educate others, learn to say no, learn to give up, learn never to give up. How was that? It was that thing, help me see the things I can change, those I can change, those I can change, those I cannot change, and to learn the difference between them. I help businesses in developing more sustainable practices. Okay, congratulations, and please do share more with us. Seeking advice from others, consider the consequences of my actions, meditation. Organize daily to-do list, positive way of offering feedback, respecting both clients, colleagues, and collaborators. Noticing repetitive problems in my community and finding solutions, involving myself in volunteering activities and organizing them, bettering myself and by listening to the people around me. I avoid printing information on paper. I don't use agendas, take notes, but my phone and laptop, I recycle everything I can. Thank you. The ability to listen to others, empathy, how to give feedback without criticism, planning, this one I read. Respect, reliability, I see the good in people. I am aware of the consequences of my actions. My mission is to empower. Through culture, I am intentional with my time. Educate our children in sustainability, setting of mind, ask the questions how we can bring value for others by our business. I am a conscious consumer. I try to buy products that produce as little waste as possible. Wonderful. Or they are packaged in recyclable materials. I am a yoga teacher, and I teach class. I talk to people about living consciously. I'm living consciously myself, being aware of what I eat, from where, what I say, think, do. Welcome. Not sure who is our yoga teacher. Yesterday in the, no, 2 days ago, in the webinar from Italy, we had a yoga teacher there. And she was telling us how she moved her classes and actually thrived through the pandemic, being a yoga teacher online. So I hope you're well during the pandemic. Listen, adapt, use efficiently, individual meditation, learning each day something new and apply it. Being optimistic, recycling, supportive of others. Focus on personal growth and healthy interdependence, being of service, precision in communication, being 100% honest. Fun fact, that's also the title of the book I'm currently working on. Ooh, great. Congratulations, we can't wait to read it. I invest 50% of profit back into my team in bonuses, team building, training. Wonderful. Being optimistic, recycling, supportive of others. Great. Thank you. Listening actively, almost always listening to the opinion of others. Still working on this. Praising others at every little achievement and encourage them further in their objectives. Yeah, indeed. I heard about a lot of about negative feedback, because many people ask themselves how they can give negative feedback, but too often we miss giving positive feedback. So a pat on the back sometimes does the trick. Yeah. Thank you, guys. So if we don't have any more answers for this question, we're gonna go to 3 challenges. So what prevents you from doing all of these things, all of those positive behaviors or others that you want to do? What prevents you? What are the challenges in becoming a conscious leader? Or what could support you in becoming a more conscious leader? So for example, on one Facebook group today, I read somebody complaining that they don't have where to recycle ink cartridges from printers. So What are the challenges? What prevents you from becoming more conscious, more involved? I really hope you see the question because no answer is coming and I'm sure you have ideas. You can also raise your hand and make comments live if you want. Okay, organizing the time, finding a meaning, prioritizing tasks. Okay, so it's a lot about time management here. We should make a mental note to include the time management part in the trainings. Not having enough peer pressure about it. Okay. Inconsistency in my level of energy. Thank you guys for being open and sharing. Time management, old habits and proximity, in choosing where to shop, not having the energy at the end of the day to also give to others. Time management, time limit for submitting a project, team motivation, the well-being of the team, overthinking, anxiety, financial support, patience, time management, putting too much pressure on myself, the lack of a solid culture and practice in terms of recycling. We don't have practice, indeed we don't. Anxiety, handling different perspectives, leading change, time management, social awareness, overthinking. I'm also thinking from the chat. We are thinking. Okay. That's why the answers weren't coming because we were thinking and overthinking, as Daniel. Okay. Thank you. Never enough CSR. Lack of organization within the company. My first problem is that I don't have free time to use on my project. I still have to work for others, for now for money, to demonstrate how to improve the world. Losing track of time when I'm too involved in my business. We need clear involvement of the others, especially on government side. We need to have more visible steps we could take to be conscious. Also, promote more positive role models that are prevention project. Done from Bogdan, thank you for answering. Not trusting people to delegate important tasks, giving feedback, not enough time for reading, learning, enough materials for improving my people skills. Falling into the victim role, thinking that the environment has control over you, forgetting to be grateful more often, falling into the trap of not being enough and chasing money. Time management again, without the pressure of deadlines, how to receive honest answers, patience. Lack of time again, balance, workaholic. So also time management, I think. Lack of education and ethics from some people. Being involved in daily tasks, so sometimes miss the picture. It's a practice. You need to have all the time to keep the big picture. I had the issue of losing myself in tasks until one day when I didn't have any more time to lose myself in tasks because I needed to have the big picture. So it was a cold shower, but it helped me to have the big picture today. Wanting to so much to make it perfect in my way. Need more exercise and better communication and receiving and giving feedback. A general toxic culture of overworking in my industry in advertising. Yeah, I hear what's in agencies nowadays. Facing profitability. I really love how open you are with these answers. every input that you give us, it's going to help us to build e-courses and the next activities in the project. So on my end, I'm not sure if our outputs so far have time management in them, but I think they should have. I'm talking now to my colleague who is more involved in developing the output for this project. But we'll definitely keep this in mind and integrate it somehow. I'm going to shut up a bit so that you think. It's weird because I don't see you and I don't know if you're thinking or if you still want to answer or are done. So. Anybody else thinking and want to answer the challenges? Do you have any other challenges? Or? Because otherwise, if you don't have any more challenges, we can move to the next. Let us know here. Oh, okay, Georgiana. Yeah, Georgiana added that. You can also add in the chat. So right now, because I told you I don't want to talk about world peace, I want us to understand how we can be better starting tomorrow, starting today. So what do you think are 3 ways you can change the situation? So think about 3 suggestions, 3 ways, 3 ideas about. Thank you, Marina. We'll follow up by email. Good luck with your yoga class. It was a pleasure being here and learning more about my favorite subject, well-being, from different perspectives. I wish you all best of luck and happy weekend. Happy weekend to you too. Thank you, Marina. So the rest of us, let's think about how can we change these things. Even small changes. Talking more openly about them without shame. Better time management, small steps, first action. Organize better my schedule. Meditation and mindfulness. Better to-do list. Perseverance. Consistency in all actions. Stop over-consuming. Stop overthinking. Mental health check. Not think so much about the problem, just apply a solution. Fail early. Yeah, it was fail fast, fail first. Yeah, fail early. Readapt quickly. Try to promote real systemic sustainable solutions instead of easy, superficial green actions that sometimes lead to a greenwashing effect. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's a European trend about removing greenwashing and being really green. Saying no more often to others and saying yes to myself more to keep my focus. Have an agenda and schedule tasks more effectively. Shop once a week in a local market and make supplies rest more. Better understanding of myself, growth of my self-esteem and vulnerability. Talk with others about problems in meditation, drink water, practice positive thinking, connect with people that are going through the same challenges, find a support group, love more, worry less, develop a way to gain passive income to have more free time, I should trust people more with difficult tasks, be more selective of where I give my time and energy, readapt, better time management, better organization, have the courage to have difficult conversations, better time management, meditation and yoga, knowing when to say yes or no, what is the best option I should choose, share experiences with other entrepreneurs and learn from theirs, better time management, involving in more interaction for improving leadership experience, watching how globally inspiring leaders talk and laugh. Yeah. One way to share experience with other entrepreneurs is to connect with the entrepreneurs in this project. And one way to see them is through that Google Earth map, for example, so far. Raluca has issues in registering her answers. I don't know, can you refresh or something? Or write in the chat, as Georgiana said. Thank you, Georgiana. Work harder, sleep less, invent a pill to be able not to sleep it anymore. Okay. I don't think our bodies are meant to resist without sleep and food. Extension of time for project submissions, team leaders, listening to the team. Okay. Thank you, Juana. Hope to see you again for the next workshop in November 24th. We're going to follow up via email with all the information. Have a great weekend. Seeing the big picture, conscious education, sharing is caring information. Courage to a more open and efficient communication of the project I do. Thank you. Well, I hope we are all healthy and back here in November. I think this is the most common of the wish nowadays, be healthy. Okay. I'm gonna shut up for a minute again to let you think. Because otherwise I can keep talking for hours. Okay. So if we don't have any more answers, okay, to improve the way I receive feedback. Thank you. Andrea was too quick. Okay. Yeah. So if we don't have any more answers, we can move further. It's okay. Thank you, Andrea. So with the short definition about conscious leadership as the process by which a leader becomes responsible, self-aware, and focuses on building a culture of we rather than a culture of me. So these are the final thoughts I want to leave you with from the formal and the content part of this presentation of this webinar. Right now, I'm gonna open the floor for a mixed session with peer sharing. So if you want to share your thoughts on everything that we discussed today on this model, on PERMA model. If you have any other questions, please let us know in the chat or raise your hand and share your thoughts. So this is going to be a mixed peer sharing and Q&A session at the end of the day. I'm going to leave you this definition on the screen because I really like it, and I think it's something we should have written on our foreheads to support the culture of we rather than the culture of me. So how do you feel about this? Do you resonate with this? Do you think it's something doable? Do you think it's impossible? You can either share in chat. I have a question. Is this presentation the same as the other countries got? Yes. It's not exactly, the content is the same, yeah. The format is a bit different because we used Menti, they used a different format. But the content is the same as the other countries got, yeah. I think that is the key of leadership. Thank you. And yes, you're gonna also receive the presentation. So while you think about what you want to share with us right now, the businesses in Romania definitely need more education on cautious leadership. The actual level of education is quite low. Thank you, Ioana. So following this webinar, yes, you will also receive the presentation and the links I told you about. Why there isn't a webinar with the participants from all the countries? It will be in the future. Yes, it will be. So right now we have national webinars. It's the Entrepreneurial Wellbeing webinar. In November, we'll have the Digital Wellbeing webinar. And at the beginning of next year, we're going to have one webinar with the participants who will be selected to participate in the face-to-face activities, because we're also going to have boot camps in Romania, in Spain, and in Italy. And we'll have a selection process for participants for the participation there. If you want to get in touch, not sure if there were any right now. Andrea, Monica, perhaps can help me with this information, because in all webinars we also had participants from all the countries, because if some couldn't join their national webinar, they joined the other. But yes, we're also going to have activities with all the participants, and another way to connect is also through that map, which I shared at the beginning, and you have via email the link, where we encourage you to enter your profiles and you can get in touch with each other. Ioana, welcome. Cosmin. Ioana is telling us the profit is the main priority for most of the big businesses, and greenwashing is still a very common practice. Indeed, it is. When do you find out if we were selected? After the selection process is going to be after the two webinars. So basically, I hope in December, latest in January, you're going to be invited. I think it's in February scheduled. Yeah, in February it's scheduled the webinar with all the participants selected. Conscious leadership is doable. We just have to be aware of this concept and always keep in mind in our activity. Unfortunately, at least in Romania, the concept is little known, but it's very valuable. Well, we have hope to promote it more, and through you, the participants in this webinar, perhaps we can also disseminate the information within your communities. Will there be webinars with the participants? Oh, okay, Diana. Also, Cosmin asked me these questions. Yes, we're going to have webinars with them, but with the participants selected for the further activities. one way to connect with them right now is through that Google Earth map, where we encourage all participants to create profiles, and where you can see them go to Italy, to Spain, and see who wrote their profile and what's their business and so on, and get in touch with them. Of course, as long as everybody leaves their contact details there. So fill in your profile. Cosmin, yeah, okay. You're gonna receive everything via email for the selection process. So the participation in the 2 webinars is one criteria, for example. But you're gonna receive everything about the selection process via email as well. Thank you, Alexandra. I'm happy to help you. And please save the date. So 24th of November is going to be our next webinar on digital skills. If you can't make it for the 24th, let us know. And we're going to invite you to the other webinars for in the other countries. All the webinars are held in English. And the next activity is going to be after the selection process in February. Which is going to be a prep work. I believe we still have a guerrilla entrepreneurship in Romania, learning while doing, so at least at the beginning it would be hard to include this feature, but not impossible, with lots of info, this information source. Indeed, thank you, Raluca. I am a true believer that each of us can make a difference. We were 60 in this webinar, we are still 44 right now. If each of us takes a small action, each of us can influence at least another person or 2 other persons. So this is how we can create change from bottom up. Christian, if you want to add something, please unmute. I guess you raise your hand or something.
Oh yeah, oh my God, absolutely, thank you. So I'm scanning the chat conversations, and I see a lot of people complaining that in Romania we're still doing that. In Romania we're not mature enough to do that, or we can't handle that, or we should improve this or that or whatever. I don't think it's a healthy mindset to geotag things like that. I have met a lot of foreigners, pretty close-minded, and a lot of Romanian, pretty open-minded. So I don't think it's a matter of where you are on the planet, for that matter. I believe that it all has to do with what you want from that business. I think the general line would be that, okay, in Romania, generally, you would start a business not to improve the environment, not to improve the, I don't know, the community, but to improve your own situation, your own family, your surroundings, right? So maybe it's not that the people are not ready, or they don't know how to create, how to put together like a meaningful type of leadership. It's just they don't want that. They just want, they go into entrepreneurship or business just for the gains, just for the money. So instead of focusing on, yeah, at the national level, we're lacking this, we're lacking that, we're unable to do this, the legislators, oh my God, the laws are so awful. No, it's not that. If you want to do something and you're motivated to do something, it really does not matter when or where you do it. So that would be my advice, having like going through a lot of businesses in a lot of areas. That would be my advice to those who have not started a business yet. You can do it 100 billion%. It's not about being Romanian or a foreigner or African or whatever. The laws are laws, so all you have to do is find your purpose, find your meaning. And if your purpose is getting money first, then yeah, you won't be a good leader. If you wanna inspire people, if you wanna change your community, if you wanna change your whatever, your street, your city, then yeah, that makes you a good leader, whether you are born in the USA or in Romania. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. I'm a firm believer that yes, we can make a change wherever we are. Yes, it's a problem of mindset. I don't think that the environment is ideal in other countries either. I think each country has its own advantages and disadvantages, also the political spectrum, etc. So, yeah, for example, I got to know a group of expats, and they actually came to Romania to found businesses here because they like the tax system here.
Great example. Thank you, Lucia.
So, yeah, I think we can all take small steps. I'm going to read the last two comments from the chat. Thank you, Mihaela. I begin applying this concept of helping and sharing know-how, and I think that this is a small step to conscious leadership as well. People want to evolve, to learn new things, and sharing what you know as a specialist entrepreneur is very important. That helps a lot. Thank you, indeed. It is also important to demand accountability, transparency, and conscious leadership from our employers. Thank you, Ioana. Yeah, it's important for everybody to pitch in. Yeah, you can't make an ocean from a drop, but from a lot of drops, you can start it. Cosmin, I think that conscious leadership can be profitable from any point of view of an entrepreneur based on the famous Southwest Airlines. Happy employees, happy clients, happy entrepreneurs. So for any goal that you have as an entrepreneur, even exclusively money, in my opinion, this is the key for success. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So, if nobody has anything else to add, guys, I'm really happy you were here today with us. This was the Q&A part, which we did a mix. I was very happy to host you today. I'm really grateful for my great team behind the screens. Andrea, Georgiana, Monica, you are wonderful. Thank you for your help. And guys, please save the date, 24th of November. We'll follow up via email with all the details, also for the next webinar and everything you need to know about the project, the materials from today, the links and everything. And please stay in touch with us. The site of the project, Georgiana, can you write it please in the chat? Join the circle.eu, so you can keep up with the project, where we also post the update. The entire project is free of charge, so there is no cost for participating in this. So thank you for your involvement today, and I really hope to see you guys next time. And I hope you have a great weekend. Could you please share again the link for the map? Yes, Monica, do you have it to share it again in the chat, please? Okay. Thank you all for the very useful information. The quiz is awesome. Congrats to the entire team. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Thank you. Thank you. It was good sharing exercise. Also in the confirmation mail. Yeah. Thank you, Lucia. Can wait to see you. Thank you, guys. Okay, so this is the site, join the circle.eu. Monica is also going to share the link for the map, but you also have it in the original invitation mail. We can follow up when we give you the presentation as well with that link. So yes, please create your own profiles and connect the other entrepreneurs in Italy and Spain. Thank you all. It was nice meeting you all. Thank you for this lovely webinar. We are very happy it was useful to you guys. Very good self-discovery. Thank you. Have a great weekend to you all. In the follow-up email, we're gonna also have a link for a feedback survey. So please also give us some feedback about today. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye. Yes, I missed the question. Okay, yes, the selection process is gonna, yeah, we are gonna receive by email all the information about the selection process for the face-to-face activities. For the online activities, you're gonna be all invited, but for the face-to-face, we need to have a selection process because those involve costs. So yeah, and money is a limited resource. So bye, guys. Yes, it was applications for the webinars as well. So their applications were still open because they still had spots available. That's why they still have applications open. But for Romania, we have all the seats filled. You are 60 today in the webinar, and we have only 20 seats for Romania. So yeah, there is going to be a selection process. In Italy, they are still receiving applications because they have some spots left. Okay, so thank you guys. Goodbye. And if you still have other questions, please follow up with us on the email. Monica, thank you. All the rules are going to be sent to you on email. Thank you. And please, if you have other questions, follow up with us on the email.